Hello everyone, it is Brooke. I'm finally coming back with a long overdue update. I apologize that it has taken this long to get back to you all. But life happens. I went back to work and there's been some family stuff that has had to come first over updates and yeah, just dealing with everyday life stuff. So I apologize. But I'm here and I am finally getting the chance to do this. So just wanted to let you all know how I'm doing and what the plan is for next steps. So I had my blood work done on December 2nd, and basically I got my blood work like back that same day or the next day, and everything looks great, so I'm super happy about that. The levels came back exactly where we wanted them to, and then after I had my blood work done, I met with my endocrinologist, and it was a 2-hour long appointment. It was so crazy. It was so much information all at once. I walked out of there so overwhelmed. But to summarize it, we basically just went over the future process for the radioactive iodine treatment and kind of what to expect with that, and my dose of the radioactive iodine and the steps leading up to the radioactive iodine. So on the 15th of January, I will start my low iodine diet, and I will also stop my thyroid medication on the 15th as well, and then I'll go a whole week off of my medications and on this diet, and then I'll start my thyrogen injections on the 20th through the 23rd, and then on the 23rd I'll get my PET scan and my radioactive iodine dose. So I'll leave the hospital on the 23rd. I'll have to go every day for an injection, for a thyrogen injection, starting the 20th. So I'll go the 20th, the 21st, the 22nd, and then on the 23rd I'll go in for my radioactive iodine dose. And then once I get that dose, I will drive myself to a hotel and I will be in quarantine for 5 days. On that 5th day, I will drive myself back to the hospital, go to the radiology department and get a scan done again, so another PET scan, and that will determine if the radioactive iodine was successful. So yeah, that's really about it. I'm very nervous to see how my body is going to react to being off of the radioactive iodine, or I'm sorry, off of my thyroid medications, or medication. I'm only taking one. Being off of my thyroid medication and being on this diet. I can tell if I take my thyroid medication late by accident, I can tell that my body is like, what the heck's going on? It's like, doesn't like it. So I'm really nervous about how my body's going to react being off of it for a long period of time, because I'll be off of it during the radioactive iodine treatment too. So from the 15th, so essentially 2 weeks, I'll be off of it. So that should be interesting. But in other news, a little update since my thyroidectomy and my total left neck dissection. Some symptoms that I'm having, which aren't much of any. One is acne. I'm breaking out, which I never have issues with acne ever. Having a small amount of acne that I'm not used to having, and also hot flashes, lots of hot flashes. But other than that, that's really it. Sometimes I have heart palpitations, depending on my activity, but majority of it, I'm doing really well. So this is my incision. Really, really happy with it. Looks good. And you can see here, I'm still having some swelling, And I mentioned that to the doctor while I was in with them the last time, and they are wanting me to get a scan done because they're concerned that surgery may have damaged a salivary gland, and that's what's causing the swelling. So radioactive iodine treatments can also cause damage to salivary glands, along with the thyroidectomy surgery that I had, because they had to go up so far up there to get my lymph nodes. So the radioactive iodine, if the salivary glands are already damaged, the radioactive iodine will cause further damage, and it will cause more swelling. So it's not really, there's not really much they can do about it, but they just want to be aware if that's something that has happened. They want to know about it. So that's the next step. I have an appointment for a CT scan to check that out on the 9th of January, so right before I go in for my radioactive iodine stuff. And that's really about it. I don't have much else going on. Lots of stuff just in general in life that's happening, but other than that, the thyroid surgery, the thyroidectomy, and the total neck dissection really has been not so bad since that first week of torture. That first week after surgery really was difficult, but since then I've done really well, and I'm really happy with how I've been recovering. So thank you all for staying in touch with me and keeping up with my story. If any of you know anything about the thyrogen injections, please feel free to leave a comment below about your experience, or if you know anyone that has done them before, let me know how it was. I don't really know what to expect with those, so I'm just curious to hear other people's experiences. And I think I'm gonna film day 1 of being on the diet, and then like probably a week after, and kind of let you all know how I'm feeling being off of my meds and on this diet for a week. I think that would be a good time to check in with you all. And then I'm gonna try to film every day during quarantine, just so I can keep documentation of how I felt each day. And it's probably gonna be rough, but I do want to document it just so that I can look back on it, and hopefully it can help other people who are going through the same thing kind of see what it's like to be in quarantine with that radioactive iodine dose. So glad I finally got to do this update, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.